I completely forgot that we had a bunch of results from Singapore, and here we go. That weekend had a lot of results. I think it had BCS Singapore, it had the Grand Vanguard Ultimate Cup, Grand Ultimate Vanguard Cup in Japan, as well as a new recent tournament that came about, and that was the Lunar Open. So let's go through all the results and just kind of see what went down. And this is what went down in Singapore. All right, 11 level dress in the top 16 breakdown, where 2 Odiums, Rezael, and 1 Luar made it through, which is wild, right? This is the best deck in the format. I've said it ages ago. I think I even made a video on level dress. This deck is wild, and if you look at the top 8, it speaks for itself, right? 1 lone Rezael and then got absolutely destroyed, and here we are. We have 4 level dress in top 4. First, second, third, fourth, all level dress. First was Wayne, second Eugene, third Keen, and fourth was Hazik. All 4 of them playing level dress. We do have the first place list. Pretty straightforward. You're pretty much playing max copies of everything that is important for Charmet. 4 OG level dress, 4 Anotogasta, 4 Huli to get back all your stuff. You play 3 Squirrel. This Squirrel is broken, pretty much. Like, you just make unguardable numbers or PGable numbers on the rear guards, and your opponent literally can't do anything about it. 3 Foxil, and yeah, that's just pretty much it, right? Like, the deck, if you pick up Exodia, all 5 pieces, you just pretty much win straight on the spot. Roll first, you're winning, right? So then jumping to BCS Singapore Premium, this is the event that I also played as well. A majority of the top 16 cut is Nubatama, followed by Neo Nectar. Only 1 Mega Colony coming in there, and then yeah, just a bunch of other things, you know, roaming around. It's actually pretty weird to see more Genesis on the pie chart than pretty much any other deck that is in the big 3, right? Then the top 8 breakdown, 3 of the 6 Nobatamas made it through, 2 Genesis, 1 Gradora, 1 Angel Feather, and 1 Nova Grappler. And the top 4, first place was taken by Hazik. This guy has been on a run at the moment. I think he went 4th place Malaysia, 4th place day 1, and coming 1st place now, getting his World's Invite. Amazing, great work, and you know, hard work pays off, right? Second was me, unfortunately. I played Angel Gyze. I do have a deck profile on it, so feel free to check it out. It's on the channel. 3rd place is Victor, and then 4th place Fenrir. So we'll just go through the decks real quick. So Hazik's deck, pretty straightforward. Nubatama list, playing 1 Honolly as kind of the slot to stop things. Ladder's really good in the mirror. Ladder's also good into any disruption. Just protect your Furais from being nuked, essentially. Mizukaze is an unfair card, and then pretty much you have a lot of ride targets, right? Especially going into Ghidorah, you do really want ride targets, so playing 5 rideable targets is like pretty good, yeah? 2 of the grade 1s to be able to search out your grade 3 from drop if you ever need to in the Ghidorah matchup. 1 Cyclone, because when you dominate something, your crest removes its abilities, so unless you're dominating something with Act, the dominated unit gains +5 as well. And yeah, that's pretty straightforward. You know, finally a champion. Congrats to Zeke. So this is my list for Angel Gyze. I went through it in the deck profile, so I'm not going to spend too much time here. I played the V starter for the Ghidorah matchup. There would be actually other things that would change, but I think I didn't even play a Ghidorah that day, so I think all the Ghidorahs just pretty much died out by round 3. I used the buy card round 1, which means that I was playing in the winners bracket, and yeah, you know, good things happen. So Angel Gyze, 3rd place. So this is Ben's Victor deck, probably one of the best Victor deck, or one of the best Victor players, if not the best Victor player I've ever played against. He just knows the matchup. He just like knows what he's doing. I think I played him 3 times in 3 regionals, which is crazy. Top 4 Vietnam, top 16 Malaysia, and yeah, here. So it was in Swiss as well. So yeah, very, very good Victor player, like very finessed with this deck. He just knows what he's doing. Pretty much playing 2 of the OG Victor, 2 of the V1, because you're able to search it out with Arashid. Plays 2/2 Arashid. Pretty much if you play the G1, you automatically get it anyways. 2 Zubats, really good into the Chaos matchup. 2 Gunsden, you don't really need max Gunsden now. Sazander. Malyaki's really strong into Angel Gyze because it just pumps insane amounts of power and you just can't guard it. Bracing Angel Ladder and pretty much everything else is the good Nova Grappler stuff, right? I think Nova Grappler is a really slept on deck. I think this deck is pretty wild, and I would encourage people to, play this deck. Then Fenrir, so Hibiki's deck. This is Fenrir Control, pretty much similar to the World Champions deck. A little refined, more newer stuff, so like the purple OT, and then playing this grade 3. This grade 3 is really good into the Gridora matchup. Pretty much you Soul Blast 3 and you stand your Vanguard, which means that you don't need to re-ride. So Gridora just sits, right? Pretty much this deck can play a long game with Gridora because it can return stuff with Dreaming Dragon. And pretty much I just saw a masterclass from Hibiki playing against Gridora on that weekend, and it was just, not even close. So yeah, congrats on your Worlds invite. Very, very good. Then jumping to the Lunar Open that happened recently, I think it was like this weekend. So Standard had 2 Levadress, 2 Rezael, 2 Elaglima, so 2 Bat decks, 1 Blangmire and 1 Varga. And then taking it all, first place was Varga, second was Blangmire, third Levadress, and fourth Rezael. So all the Bats died, unfortunately. Would have been really cool to see them in the top cut. So just looking at the decks, so Varga, it's very straightforward. Varga playing 2 Brachioforce for an early game, Radiance Caliburn because on-demand CC is just too good. Playing Purple OT, surprisingly. I think this one is just kind of getting you onto 1 extra turn to be able to kill your opponent, and sometimes it just pays dividends. And then 2 Shenri for the early game as well. So yeah, very straightforward deck. And then Blangmire hasn't changed. You play the 2-2 order package here. 2-2 order package. This deck doesn't run the prison. So the cage prison doesn't get stuff out of soul. Throwing Blangmire, none of the guy that goes into soul binds itself to draw 1. Playing Leminus instead. Playing the Dual Nation as well. So, a little bit of innovation with Blangmire. I can't bring myself to play this deck for some reason. I don't know. I just don't do well with Blangmire. Then third place is Levadress. Pretty straightforward list, similar to Wayne's deck in Singapore. And then fourth place Rezael. So the Valtrosa build, no longer playing the Wisdom build. You're still playing 1 copy of the Hostage. Just in case you verse big decks like Varga and you just clap them, right? So yeah, that's Rezael, 4 Nibiru's, 4 Kadwala, 4 Sirgaon. The Sirgaons is pretty much all you need, really. So yeah, the deck's very good. Then they also had the premium tournament on day 2. So 3 mega colonies made it, where one of them is a Flagbird colony, 1 Nuba, Neo, Grand Blue, DP, and Nova. And then the top 4, 3 of the slots taken by Gridora. And if this doesn't tell you anything, if this doesn't tell you that Gridora is, a problem, then, look out for it, right? Gridora, very unfun card, but sometimes, it needs to be in the meta to kind of gatekeep things. But the fact that the card itself turns off a whole mechanic and premium, that's pretty wild. Like, shouldn't exist, right? But anyways, congrats to the players here. First place was Gridora. Second, Michael playing Katrina, the one lone savior that is not a Gridora in this top 4 list. Well, standing thing. Third and fourth also played Gridora, where the third was the Flagbird colony. So just kind of looking at the deck. So the first place list, nothing out of the ordinary. Oh, I guess this player played the Area Stella to get protects into hand. 3 Darkface, 2 G Gridoras. But everything else is kind of normal. I think the M-Pix is pretty interesting. Sometimes you can just N-Pix in front and then just stops during a new matchup. But I don't know how you get rid of stuff. So I'm unsure. I'm unsure about that one. So yeah, if anyone wants to tell me why 3 M-Pix is really good, please let me know. I kind of want to understand this particular card and its quantity in this deck. Then Katrina, this one is slightly different, playing 4 of the Alana, being able to have an early game where your tokens are big, and you're playing Rosarium Fairy in the early game. You just drop a Rosarium Fairy, you just sack a card, you get 2 more, and yeah, You just rush your opponent straight up. Really good into the Ghidorah matchup, and you kind of just need it, really. I think Neonectar has a really bad matchup into Ghidorah, and if you have to play an early game, you have to build your deck to play an early game, otherwise you're a sitting duck anyways. I don't know if I agree with not having Lilga PGs, but yeah, you know, Michael did well for this tournament anyways. So that's that. Then the Flagbird Colony, yeah, okay, so 3 Arix, your multi-attacker, 1 Ursula to stop stuff from being bombed, but being bombed doesn't really matter anyways, right? Because like they can't superior call anything, so not sure what this is really doing. Maybe putting in MPix would have been better, but I don't know. I don't play the deck. Oh, I guess the MPix is already there anyways. So 3 Flagbird, 2 Darkface. Darkface searchable off the Dorcas. Dorcas grabs the Darkface, and then you ride into Flagbird and then carry on with the game, right? So yeah, pretty cool. And then just a traditional Darkface deck coming 4th place with Bikuns, 2-2 split of Dorcas, and yeah, just all the good stuff, right? No Giraffa, grade 2. So I think everyone is kind of foregoing that now, playing the Saphira to check top, having multiple Maples and the Usurp to be able to just free call, and then that's your advantage engine, right? You don't really need to spend too much on anything else. Then the Grand Ultimate Vanguard Cup. So this was casted by Different Fight. The English restream was done by Kai and Kelvin on WCC's channel, or yeah, our channel. Go check it out. I think the VODs are up. So yeah, very, very good. I saw some exciting games on the replay. So this is the Swiss distribution. So a lot of teams, this was a 5v5 tournament. So a lot of teams brought Raziel, Odium, Messiah, Varga, and Night Rose in their picks, or in their composition, where I think a lot of them did bring Raziel and Odium and Messiahs mainly as the top 3. And then looking at the top cut, a lot of the teams brought Raziel, Messiah, and Odium, and then more Leverdress, right? Leverdress is more pronounced once I get into the top cut. And then the winning team of the event was Rio's team. So I guess the decks that they brought was Messiah. So this is the first one. I think it was the first big event from set 6, if I'm not mistaken. So from set 6, got the Lady Battler grade 2, which is really strong. I think this is like from Drop Zone, it can call itself for CB1 if you're on GB3, and then it gains power GB1. So yeah, very strong. 4 Mechanis, 4 Sacrifice, 4 Arresters, and 4 Cyclers. Like very, very straightforward deck. 2 of the Prelude, grade 3, and then 4 Strides. Playing Purple OT as well, not playing Elder Breath. So this deck just kind of grinds out your opponent, right? Like the longer the game goes, the higher the power scaling for this deck is. So I think, you know, that's kind of like the idea of this deck, right? Because Messiah draws naturally really, really strong, right? Then we have Berry. Berry is one of the best decks in Japan, I think, especially when Leverdress is going around. Love and Berry are 2 very good collab decks into the format, yeah? Raziel, just very good. You know, this one plays the Tayfault Wisdom build, so no Cadwalas. Yeah, very, very different take on Raziel, I guess. I think a lot of people are taking out the Wisdom order for Cadwala and Valtrosa, but you know, this player decided to play Sir Gawain and the Tayfault Wisdom order build instead, right? Then Love was also brought for this team composition. I think it's a really good deck. Like, why would you not bring it? It's like you're pretty much playing 4 of the best decks in the format. So Love, Berry, Raziel, and then the next one is Leverdress, right? Like 4 of the best decks tagged on with like set 6 best deck, which is Messiah. Like that is like the perfect 5-man team composition, right? Yeah, it doesn't really vary here. I think the deck is very straightforward. No fluff, you know, like 4-4-4-4, 3-3 of pretty much everything. Very, very straightforward deck. So yeah, that's pretty much all the results that we have from the past weekends. Completely forgot that I didn't cover the event that I went to, which is pretty crazy. If you guys want to know my insights on the Angel Gyze list that I brought to second place in BCS Singapore, I do have it in on my channel, so feel free to check it out. There will be a Leo Odium, I guess, deck discussion, because I did bring that to a top 16 finish in Malaysia, as well as I brought a slightly different build to Singapore as well, just kind of testing the waters on that deck. I think the deck is really good, so I'll share my thoughts in a later video. So yeah, if you guys like this video, pop a like, comment down below what you guys think of all the results. If you guys haven't already, click that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.